happiest of Fridays, and also happiest of Pride Month. Welcome to another edition of 5 Horror Movie Fun Facts, starring me. This week we're doing a movie that I mentioned in another video, and I might have done a 5 Fun Facts on already. I wanted to do a whole thing for Pride Month, but I've done this before. I'm having strong deja vu, but we're going to do it anyway because if I did do it, it was maybe at least 5,000 followers ago. So this is going to be new to you. This week's movie, Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 2. It's also called Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge for some reason. Not sure what the revenge is, but anyway, fun fact number 1. Freddy is only in this movie for 13 minutes. That's all. It's an 87-minute runtime, and he only makes an actual appearance for 13 of that. This is also the only movie where Freddy gets his victims outside of the dreaming world instead of just inside the dreaming world. Actually, come to think of it, I don't think he unalives anybody in the dreaming world in this movie. Huh. That leads us to fun fact number 2. Famed director Wes Craven absolutely refused to do this film. He hated the concept. He hated the fact that Freddy was possessing someone as opposed to only being restricted to the dream world. He really was not down with this idea at all. Also, he originally wanted the first film to have a happy ending, which that's a whole nother video on itself, how the ending of Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one, happened. But yeah, the whole concept of Freddy possessing someone was not one that he was down with, which is ironic when you consider that 10 years later, he would make a movie that does just that. It was a new nightmare. A new nightmare, basically the same concept. Freddy trying to get into the real world. I don't know. Maybe Wes just wanted to do it his way. Maybe. I like both movies. I don't have a beef with it. I'm just saying it's ironic. Fun fact number 3. There is so much gay subtext in this movie. So much gay in this movie. And apparently at the time, everybody was in on that except for the star, Mark Patton. See, at the time, Mark was a man who was openly gay in his private life, but not so much in his professional life. It was 1984. One could not be a gay man and have any hope of having any kind of career in Hollywood back then. He talks about it in his documentary Scream Queens, in that he felt like he was made to do a lot of things in a stereotypically gay way to play that up more for the part. There were moments he talks about where there are a few things that he refuses to do. There's, I guess, a part where Freddy puts his knives in his mouth. He refused to do that. But yeah, by the time Mark Patton realized what was happening and what was actually going on with that, he was way deep in the film and couldn't really bow out at that point. Now, if you're curious about what scenes were specifically allegories to homosexual subtext, there's a whole dream sequence where he's in a gay bar for some reason. The whole weird tongue scene where he's making out with Lisa and he stops himself because he's revolted, which I think that's a little bit of a stretch. I mean, come on, the guy has a giant tongue coming out of his mouth, you know? But then, directly after that, he rushes over to his friend's house and, for lack of a better word, penetrates him with a knife. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I don't know how to say that last part without possibly being flagged by TikTok. There's no direction I can go with it. Anyway, Patton goes on to say in his documentary that choice, he feels kind of tanked his career, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate, especially when you consider a lot of actors get their start in horror movies. So anyway, fun fact number 4. So I love my practical effects, right? I love my practical effects. So let's talk about Jesse's transformation scene. and how this was accomplished. So for this shot, it was pretty simple. They took a dummy head of Mark Patton and had the actor, Robert Englund, look through a hole in the back. Now, for the actual shot where Freddy's actually coming out of his mouth, they affixed the prop to a table and then had someone push their head through. At the time, the only one whose head was small enough to do it was special effects guy Kevin Yeager's girlfriend. So, if you have a little peanut head, don't be ashamed of it, because one day you might actually have to push your head through a prop on a movie set. Gotta look at the bright side of life, you know? And technically, this is the first and only time that Freddy's ever been portrayed by a woman. So there's that. And finally, fun fact number 5. This movie saved New Line Cinema. This movie saved New Line Cinema. Yeah, so the production company was actually going broke, and they needed one big movie to help get them over the hump. And this was the one. Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge, made enough money and was successful enough to keep them afloat. From there, they started making more hit movies, including their next big hit series, which happened to be Critters. Critters, one of my favorite monster creature features like ever. They also went on to crank out a bunch of John Waters films, which that is definitely a plus. So yeah, that's it for this week's 5 Horror Movie Fun Facts. Join me again next week, and I shall have another for you. Okay, bye.